Bevan Sweeney is taking us through the card at Trentham. We'll highlight 5 races, but firstly, Sweens, good morning to you. What sort of track is presented today at Trentham?
Well, good morning, Jason. I made a fatal mistake this morning. Been used to these track conditions that have been so good across the last 6 or 8 weeks. I forgot my gumboots. I took one stride out there and I thought, no, I'm not going any further because my word, it is wet out there. I can tell you, especially in the home straight, they're going to be in some pretty deep, dark places late in their races, especially later on in the program. It's always great to see jumping racing back here at Trentham. Of course, we've got some pretty experienced sort of jumpers that are heading towards maybe the Manawatu Hurdle Steeplechase next Saturday and then further afield. So 3 good flat jumping races, an amateur race on the program, and of course we do have a really good open handicap with 3 very smart horses, New York Minute, also Comeback and Art Deco, all looking for some pretty big goals throughout the season. But I thought we'd better catch up around the track conditions, so earlier this morning I did go out and catch up with Mark Biddle. Mark, it's been a week where the winter has really kicked in here in the lower part of the South Island.
Sure has, Bevan. Yeah, it's been very, very wet.
Okay, how much sort of rain we had through the week?
We've had approximately 70 mils since last Saturday, so...
Okay. It was tough going the other day, but this walking it here, especially in the straight, seems to be old school sort of Trentham.
Yeah, we're starting to get out there now. It's yeah, she's going to be very testing today.
Okay, is it similar all around the track, or just the straight will we get into this sort of loose ground?
I think the back straight and the turn seem to walk better than the straight. Once they hit the straight, it's going to be really tough, as I say. So.
Okay, you've left the rail in the same position as the previous meeting?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Okay, we're thinking old school. They're going to be straight out across the track and battle of the fittest. Yeah,
I think so, and I think probably a factor might be too with the jumping races going early. It could be a bit of a head scratcher for the riders, in finding a place to go. But I think it'll probably even it out a lot. I don't think there'll be any advantage in going too wide.
Okay, so the thoughts there from track manager at Trentham, and we can get into the preview, starting with race number 2, the first of the jumping races, the Superstar Sea King hurdle. In fact, it's the second because the first is a maiden hurdle. So $2.80 for Gallant, Guy Fox is $3.90, Kip Kano $4.60, and Bad Boy Brown $5.60. So the second race, the second of the jumping races at 5 minutes to 12. Stephen Hunt, any money moves for this?
Yeah, punters are targeting 2 runners here, Jason. Number 7, Galante, the current favourite at $2.80 on option 682, off a peak of $3. And the second favourite, number 4, Guy Fox, back on a heavy track. Didn't perform up to betting expectation at Te Rapa and the Waikato hurdles, but back again on a heavy 11. Punters are given that the green light. $4.50 was the top flight during the week around Guy Fox. Now as short as $3.90 and was as short as $4.20 half an hour ago. So that's probably been the best bat runner this morning. But overall, Galante and Guy Fox share dollar for dollar. Outside that, Kip Keno, $4.50, got as high as $4.80, back into $4.60, has to carry the top weight, but looks to be running for us. And Bad Boy Brown, look, it's had a few setbacks in the last season or two, but looking for an improving run. Second up here, Bad Boy Brown, $5.50. That remains its opening line. A little bit of specking, not left alone totally. But out of 7 and 4, 4 and 7, it looks fairly even to kick off race 2 today at Trentham.
Bevan Sweeney, you with the 4, 7, 7, 4 as well?
On the 4 and the 7 for sure, JT. Look, I think this is a day where you don't give up on your horse because you may look to be travelling to the corner and then they'll hit the course proper and things may change. So that real deep down fitness may become all over the last 200 metres. So don't give up on your horse. If you've got a fit horse coming into the straight, it'll change. And you might see a couple of horses fighting back on horses who look to be the winner, and then just that little lack of fitness coming in today might play. I thought Galante was really good on track conditions, better than he probably would like. Zentangle's a fair horse, no doubt about that. So to put up a performance like this suggests that Galante's come up brilliantly. He has a great record on these rain-affected track conditions. Only had the 1 run here. It'll be a test. It's only 3rd up for Galante, but I know Graham thinks a heck of a lot of this horse as a jumper, and but they're sprinting hard, these horses, the end of that particular hurdle, and he just didn't have the leg speed to go with them. But it won't be like that this afternoon, and when I go back and review the heavy track performances of this horse, I think, well, he's more than likely going to be okay on this ground. So I'll go with him on top. Over Guy Fox will have the fitness edge on Galante, and has a great record here at Trentham. Look, Bad Boy Brown's a very talented horse. I just wondered today, second up after a run on the flat, he has had that little kink in his racing manners that he can over-race quite badly at times. Harvey Wilson does the training out of Waverley, so just watch him today, I'd suggest, and look for him further afield. And then, look, I didn't count out the Great Guru. I've left out Kit Kana today because I think second up, I was expect this horse to even improve massively into maybe the 4th and 5th run, just being the older horse, 11-year-old by Sunray, but I've got a lot of respect around it. I went 7, 4, 2 and 5 and a little bit of respect around the 1, but look, if Galante's got the rap and he lives up to that rap, I think he'll be winning. That's the Superstar Sea King hurdle. We now push on to race 3, the Superstar ZM Chase, where Napoleon is $2.70 from It's a Wonder at $3.90 Zadetto, and I've got this $4.80. Speaking of I've got this, Stephen Hunt, have you with this race? Do you feel that you've priced it up right?
Always interesting when you've got these up-and-coming chasers against a couple of old war horses that have been battling over the last 2 or 3 seasons. One of them being our Countess, who's been there, done that, and will love the heavy 11 track conditions. That's one that's been spec'd at longer odds at $12, currently a losing liability, round number 3, our Countess. But at the top of the book, Napoleon's been well supported on the back of a maiden steeple win at Te Rapa. Again, with Kevin Myers to do the polish, well supported. $3.50 was the top fluck during the week. Now short as $2.70 Napoleon. And It's a Wonder. We know how good he is over the hurdles. Now making his chase debut, albeit against the open class field. It's a Wonder's been well spec'd. Also $5 on Wednesday. Now as short as $3.90. So Napoleon, It's a Wonder. 1, 2 in the betting. They're pretty keen on those 2 individuals. But a little bit of specking around number 3, Old Countess, on the heavy 11 track conditions.
Swains, how have you assessed the third?
Well, I just think Napoleon's too short for mine, Jason. Like, this horse hasn't been to these deep, dark places that it will find here this afternoon. So I wasn't interested in the price, and especially the price now that it's got into around about $2.70. Good horse, no doubt about it, for Sean Fannin and Kevin Myers. A combination that you always have to give due respect. But I just thought, at that quote, I'll wait and see one run on this sort of ground from it. So I've gone with It's a Wonder, who has a great record here. Has had the 4 runs in now, so fit. Sean Phelan picked up the ride this afternoon. It was too firm for it at Te Rapa, in behind If I Tell last time. I thought the run behind Guy Fox very, very good, so I gave it a good chance, the 8. Old Countess is in for second. I think this horse has been to the places required for a track like this afternoon. Third up this time on, first time over the jumps. Expect to run for mine from it with Buddy Lammis aboard. Napoleon I'll put in for that 3rd position. I'm just not convinced on the price. I've got this, has done the miles and has the experiences. And look, I've just done an interview with Aaron Kuru, who says Zadetto this season seems to want to be a racehorse, and so he thought if everything goes 100% right with Zadetto, with a couple of good performances the last 2, he thought this horse might run a race, and we'll catch up there with that interview. He was pretty disappointed with his ride at Te Rapa, Aaron, but 8, 3, 6 and 4 in race number 3.
All right, to race number 5, the Platinum Homes at Taranaki, 1200. Down the dog league, which New York Minute has competed over the last 2 years for an average winning margin of 11 lengths. Today, rather than carrying 54 kilos, as she has or had done the previous 2 years, she'll carry 56, courtesy of Chelsea Bird and 340 comeback. Art Deco's at $4.40. Now, she interests me if you don't like New York Minute, because she should be hard and fit and ready. But Stephen Hunt, you've already spruiked the fact that the market says it's nearly a one-horse race.
Almost a one-horse race, Jace. They are pretty keen on Art Deco, and particularly this morning around number 4. The fact that it's getting a 4 kg claim, where number 2 Comeback, the only horse out of those top 3 in the market, will be carrying the allocated 60 kilograms of Jonathan Parks, even though he's won 5 in a row. You do expect people to reinvest on that individual, but as it currently stands, Comeback is the 3rd best bet runner in behind New York Minute and also Art Deco. So there is a possibility that Art Deco could challenge that second line of betting this afternoon. New York Minute, as I said at the top of the show, clearly the best bet run up and down the card at Trentham. Opened $1.70, a number of 4-figure bets, including 1,700 at 1.7, which we accepted yesterday afternoon, getting her price to $1.60. I don't think she'll start any higher than 1.6. So if you do like her, even in single bets, I know she's going to be very popular in multis, already 1,100 multis running through her. Take the $1.60 because she could start even shorter than that later on this afternoon. But outside that, Dr. Watson, surprising, has been spec'd at $26 from dropping from $2,000 to $1,200, and Nashville at $61. Don't think he's ever paid a price at $61. Hasn't raced over 1,200 metres since 2016 in the month of October, but he is quite friendless. But overall, best bet runner New York Minute, with a little bit of specking this morning around Art Deco.
is the formpro.co.nz, formproratings.co.nz speed map, and New York Minute, not surprisingly, is the horse that's likely to go forward. Salamanca does have some speed, and Comeback we know can wind into the race and can sit handy. Art Deco should get that nice run behind them, and you'd say clearly Dr. Watson and Nashville should be competing for those positions 5th and 6th. One thing I didn't mention on the first call yesterday, Bevan Sweeney, is Art Deco. Look, her third up runs and the last 3 preparations have invariably been her best, where she's won a couple of races and ran really well in a Tauranga Classic. So I wonder that maybe the market's just coming back to her a little bit with New York Minute very short.
Yeah, and I think Art Deco, I believe, will go back to Tauranga in a couple of weeks and take her place in that particular race. Look, it's an interesting one for mine. I sort of have that gut feeling if you want to make a profit today, put your 100 on New York Minute and just take your 60 and go home. But I'm pretty sure that Jonathan is going to test the fitness of New York Minute. Now, whether with the 60 kilos this horse can keep on kicking, he's all attitude as we see here. We've seen the trial of Art Deco earlier on in the program, so here is the last start performance of Comeback. He is all will, there's no doubt about that. He's now carrying 60 kilos, so that becomes a massive impulse, giving a horse like Art Deco 6, giving New York Minute 4. But if he's there at the 100 metres, then they'll be tested out again, won't they? Because you can see him there. He's all will, the neck stretching, the ears are flat back, and Art Deco, you know, with Hazel there, I think if Hazel had just had that little bit more experience and been able to draw the shillelagh and just give her one behind the saddle quite strongly, then she probably would have got a lot closer to Comeback. So today, I'm going to go with the 1, but I think there's a slight concern around, is New York Minute an apprentice's horse? 4 kilos off, you'll have to get the job done right. She may win by 10 like we've seen, but there's a bit of quality in this race and a little bit more than she's faced across the last couple of runs, so in this particular race. So the 1's on top. Art Deco gets in to win today at 4.40, so if you don't like $1.60, have a look at Art Deco. Look, Comeback was 60. I'm not going to doubt him, but I'm going to say you can probably leave him alone at that sort of quote as well. Salamanca can be in the mix, but 1, 4, 2 and 6, Jace. Might be 10, it might not. It's more than likely 10 though, I think.
It sounds like you're doubting Comeback a little bit, but you can understand because of the weight, and it's a fair point that you make. Okay, race number 7 is the Grant Plumbing 1400, and Didin Torre with Toro del Greco at $4.20 each. Paddy Burke $4.80. Can Paddy Burke get there? Gee, he's missed out on a couple of close photos, and I suppose that's him a little bit. Hedengawe is at $5 Hedengawe, and then you've got double figures about foiling. Stephen, can you give us any leads here?
Not a strong lead, Jason. Pretty competitive, rating 72 over the 1400 metres, led by a couple of runners in D10 Torre and Toro de Greco, $4.20 each of 2. They match dollar for dollar. In front of the third favourite, Paddy Burke, $5.50. Got as short as $5 this morning, just earning another turn to $4.80. Some good support around number 8, Paddy Burke. Herengawi, solid at the $5 line. Acceleration, $7.50 out to $8.50. There's one they're speaking a nice each way quote. There's the Alan Sharrock runner, again a 4 kg claim. Foiling the 5-year-old mare by Showcasing. A big improver second up according to Punters. Opened at around about the $12 price. It's now travelling at 11, currently a losing result. So there's the one they're specking, number 9, Foiling in early stages. But a race that just low in confidence, I believe, for Punters at this stage.
I like hearing that about Foiling, because at that price, I wonder whether she could be worth a spec today. And the fact that the market is considering her is excellent. And in line with that, here's the speed map, Didin Torre and Hedengawe, horses that should go forward, and then there's a clump of horses that don't really show much early, but I'm sure we'll have riders that will be looking to work into the race before the straight to make sure that they don't have too much ground to make up, even though that Trentham straight is a long one. Bevan, I'll be really interested to hear your thoughts when they parade for this race, because Foiling is a runner that I'll be keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, well, I'm interested. I would sort of asked or posed the question, maybe it was a booking taken early around here in Ngawi, if Foiling was going to win, would Hazel be aboard it? Maybe she can't do the weight down to the 51. In fact, that's probably more the reason, Jason, thinking about it again. But Hazel's going well. Chelsea is a talented young lady. There'll be a money fly if the horse is going to win, make no doubt about that. And we'll try and catch up with Alan or Kane or Emma around that horse coming into the race. Look, I was very impressed with Toro del Greco. I looked for the best form line here at Trentham. Here it is. Because Platinum Rapper comes underneath Toro del Greco, who went for home. and put up a little bit of a margin. You see Platinum Rapid to the outside of Toro del Greco. Sarah McNabb scoots inside and then across and looks home. Platinum Rapper has come out and run such a good race as a 3-year-old filly against the older horses at Weight for Age on Saturday at Wanganui. They'd be beaten, inside half a length. So this form really does stack up very, very nicely. And Toro del Greco's really put in, look, I liked its action in that ground. It's come again at the line to try and take a bit more ground off Platinum Rapper. So for me, that's the best form line in the race, therefore it's got to be on top. Over here in Gowie, look, I think, you forgive the last couple of runs at Riccarton, this is a wet track horse who'll get a wet track this afternoon. Its form in that sort of state is brilliant. Hazel has got a very good knack of not panicking and just balancing them up in this wet ground. Outside of that, I'm with you with the Paddy. I've been waiting for him to get the job done forever. Didn't have much luck with that rail down at Awapuni when he was actually coming really, really strongly. So give him another run. D10 Torre, I'm not sure about him. He really let me down last preparation. He was field shy. I don't think he was overly honest. He did put a lot of wins together very quickly, D10 Torre, so he went up quickly in the grades to a place where it was probably getting a little bit difficult for him, but his mind wasn't quite on the job last preparation. He's trialled up okay. Very, very talented, mate, no doubt about that. He's in for fourth, but look, I'll go with the best wet track form line that I've seen in the race, and that's Toro del Greco, the 7 on top, Jace.
Race number 9 is a rating 72 over 2,100 metres, and it's the Pete's Joinery Precise Design and Build. $3.80 for Beaujeu, $4.60 for Richard of York, Sweet Treat there at 5, Dashbur at 5.50. Regal Rock's now into 7. Aquila Bell has come out of this race. Has there been much money for Regal Rock here, Stephen Hunt?
You've nailed it, Jace. I know you're fairly keen on Regal Rock. Drops 2 grades, was a very, very competitive 4th on this track against open handicap gallopers, and sits in rating 72 company, 1.5 kilograms off the minimum, with a senior jockey, Jonathan Parks, to do the riding. And just mentioning Jonathan Parks, he's a $2 shot to take out today's J Challenge, and very well supported early doors around Jonathan Parks in that particular market. Beaujeu, look, Andrew Forsman at the top of the show was a bit cautious around this runner second up, even though it's been well supported. $4.50, top fluck into $3.80. Richard of York, $4.40, got as high as $4.80, now trading at $4.60. Sweet Treat, rock solid at the $5 third line favourite. Dashbur, always well supported, third up, Lisa Allpress. Profiles as a betting prospect at a $5.50 quote. And Regal Rock, if I had to go with a lead in quite an open betting affair, that is the one, even though it sits in the 5th line of betting. Regal Rock, $8 into 7.
Yeah, really interesting one. Regal Rock obviously is not your sort of your $2 or $3 best bet type, but I thought, Bevan Sweeney, that the opening line was probably, well, was too generous. And therefore was a decent enough bet. Dashper and Beaujeu do look the speed inside and outside, and whether the outside is going to be a better place to be than the inside by race number 9 remains to be seen. History says, yeah, it will be. How did you read the night there, Sweens?
Well, I'm exactly with you, Jason, to be honest. I was blown away when a certain first called analyst rang me yesterday morning and said Regal Rock's at $9. I thought, how could that be in this particular race? I have to say I'd been driven up and back to New Plymouth, so I hadn't had a chance to frame my markets, but in my mind when I was skimming the fields, I had it down as favourite in the race. And this is really why. There's been a long sustained run put up by this horse against Sylvester, Dr. Watson. Now, if they were in this race, they're at $2, aren't they? And this is an inexperienced horse up against the open handicappers who's just worked home beautifully, to my mind, after putting up a long run now. Back in a couple of grades against a horse like Beaujeu, I don't see a comparison there, really. Maybe the track conditions is the big stopper around this particular horse, but that's a really good effort in an open handicap. Comes back to a 72. Look, I didn't see $9, Jason. I was with you. It's on top for me. I think Hard to Be Humble, if it's loose, will be a bit of a danger for Janelle Miller. Look, the horse is better than it showed last time. I thought it just got held up in some very puggy sort of ground, blinkers coming off. Look, Beaujeu's in the mix, but I didn't see the $6 or thereabouts between the two horses. In fact, what was it, $4.50. And look, maybe the big upsetter in the last, you want to have him in on your quaddy ticket, Zeddy Duda Deco. The one way these track conditions are in the straight, it's his sort of track, as we've seen when it gets like this sort of level. And he's won a couple of pretty big jumping races when it's at this level. He may just pick himself up off the deck here and run a race, Zeddy Duda Deco, at a price for Jamie Phillips. So look, here the 6 on top. Let's have a look at his strategy. Best on the program. Look, I'm with New York Minute. I think it'll win, and I think any sort of sensible big punter would say, well, I'll put my money on that and make a profit on the day here at Trentham. But I wanted to have a bit of fun outside of that. Regal Rock's my best value for sure. So I've done a $100 multi. New York Minute to win. I'll even anchor that in a 3-leg multi. Place Ave Maria. Luke Myers, a young man in the amateur. I trust him on a horse who's a very fit horse and a good staying type of horse. And then we'll go Regal Rock to win in race number 9. So that'd be a reasonable sort of collect if we can get that home, Jason. So $100 multi for a bit of fun. But look, if you were playing the sensible approach and wanted to sort of get your units up for the day, I think New York Minute is the one at around about $1.75. So you'd make 75% on your money.